What up, loved ones? What it do? Spotty Young right here. You know where I'm from. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new to this channel right here, just hit the subscribe button real quick. Give it a like if you think it's cool, if you think it's real. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with the homie Manila.
Miller. What's up, buddy?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
man. Hey, thank you
Taking
for this
it
one.
straight out of Mactown, Makati, all the way to the Bay. Big chilling with your boy, man. It's been a while since
It's
you
been a
came back,
minute.
right?
Yeah, it's been a minute, man.
So to those who don't know,
Yeah,
man, let everybody know and shit.
yeah. I was born and raised Makati City, 1988, and then born and raised in Makati. I was 14 years old when I left, Philippines and resided in the Bay Area, and then as soon as I got there, of course, culture shock and a lot of differences with the city where I used to live at, which is in Philippines. So it was new to me, and I was 14, and then just striving for progress for the better life.
Hey,
Yeah,
so let's go way back. So you was born here in Makati,
yeah.
grew up, and then how did you get a chance to go to the United States?
Okay, because my mom used to work at the city hall of Manila
Yeah, yeah,
for like I would say like 17 years. So that's a government uh,
yeah.
place,
She
right?
got the connect.
Yeah, and then my dad used to work in a Philippine gaming corporation. I would say like 16 to 7 years. So that's like kind of like two government uh, spots, right?
Yeah,
So
that's right.
when we applied for our visa as
Yeah.
a family, so they kind of like look at that background. So they kind of give us it's a plus to give us a visa. So all of us got a 10-year visa,
Dang.
but we have to. But of course, when you receive the visa, you have to, let's say 6 months what's that called, max. So stay here 6 months, then you can come back to the states, and you can only stay there for 6 months and come back. So make
All
sure
right.
you don't overstay, and you know eh, get a
That's how you made it over there.
get a good record.
So boom, everything went good. You had to connect. You were able to fly
Yeah,
from a third world country, the Philippines, all the way to the United States. Where
yeah.
did you end up landing? LAX?
LAX, right?
Oh, yeah.
LAX, and then I stayed at my auntie's spot for like 3 weeks, Panorama City.
Oh, that's where I
For
grew up.
real?
Yeah, that's where I landed.
No.
Panorama City,
Yeah,
Van Nuys, Roscoe,
yeah,
all
yeah.
that.
And then when I landed there, I don't know nobody. I don't know
Yeah.
how to move. I don't know how to. I know like a little bit of English, but not that like a language.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So and then we decided to move to the Bay Area because my sister-in-law back then used to live, in by Millbrae, San Bruno area.
Oh, yeah.
So and then when I got to the States around no, no, March 2003, from from Philippines, to the States. So I landed March 2003, and I stayed at my sister-in-law's house with my mom, my dad, and we didn't really have like a great space for us in the first. So
During that time.
we stayed in the living room. So
Oh, for real?
so it's kind of hard at first because we don't have a real place. So good
Two,
thing
2003, right? In
2003.
Panorama?
No, in Millbrae.
I know that.
So I only stayed in Panorama for 3 weeks because
All
my
right, all right.
auntie lived there. We're just trying to figure it out. So we got a go signal to move to Millbrae,
Dang, we just
San
missed
Bruno.
each other, man.
For real? Damn.
Yeah. That's
Yes.
so cool.
So I went to school there, but originally I was supposed to stay in the States only for 2 months
Yeah, yeah,
because I have to go back here, continue my high school here.
yeah.
But me, my parents that time, they decided to just
Stay
to
there, huh?
stay and
Yeah,
go to school and to see what's like.
yeah.
So basically what happened was they decided that we overstayed.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we went overstay because so we were supposed to come back September 2003. But before September 2003, we decided to be at my dad's H1V1 visa. So those who don't know, H1V1 visa is you can get a green card through an employer from
Mm,
through my dad's work, a care home by Carson City, because my
yeah.
dad used to work at Carson City, but while we staying here in Millbrae. So um, at the first few months, it was all good. And September 2003 came, and then we really overstayed. And then after like less than a year, um, this is like the time that we still on petition. So we overstayed. It's okay because we was on that petition
Yeah,
with
yeah.
for the employer. So, but a year, I would say like less than a year after we overstayed, some ish happened that the care home where my dad used to work at got bankrupted. So it got bankrupted. That means the petition got postponed. It was deceased. So that means it was canceled. Like we automatically out of status.
Damn.
Like
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
my
yeah.
mom, my brother, my dad, all of us out of status automatically because of that. Um, I believe that it wasn't our fault because we just wanted to get a better life, but it's just it was a bad timing that if we would have knew, then we would have not overstayed. It was hard.
Yeah.
Like so, we was TNT, like tago ng tago for years, for
Tago na
years.
tago. Yeah.
Um, and then we was disappointed. My parents was crying, and we was worried that we might get picked up by the Homeland Security and
INS.
get
Yeah.
deported, and then that's it.
By the way, during this time, did you have other relatives or friends that were helping you out? Or you felt like because of your situation, that's when you found out some people weren't really trying to help you out on your situation?
um Only the people who try to help us out was my sister-in-law and her family, that
Oh,
they let us stay on their apartment.
all right, all right.
um
That's good.
yeah. And then even though we stayed in the
Yeah,
living room, my mom used to work at a care home, so she was like kind of like stay in.
yeah,
So she stayed for like a couple of days, then come to come home for like 2 days and back to work.
yeah.
And then my dad was used to work at Carson City, but since uh, that employer got bankrupted, he decided to move to the Bay Area with us and look for a new job.
Yeah, yeah,
So at first they couldn't find a real job because we was out of status. So we have to find an under the table
yeah, yeah.
job. So like I would say like a companions at a care home. So care home who accepts uh, you know uh,
Minimum.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
like
I,
a low profile, undocumented. It
yeah.
was hard, but because
It's very.
for years we didn't get no tax return, no real job. So I was 14 that time, 15, 16. A few years after that, we were still out of status. But before that, um,
During those times, you were going to school.
yes, I was
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to school.
yeah.
Uh, and I was going to school.
How was it? And what was your experience at school? Did
Going
you
to school.
hanging out with the gangs,
Oh no,
gangsters?
no, not at all. Like
Did you
I
experience
just
getting
wanted,
bullied?
to
Stay out the way.
not to like to blend in with the Filipinos.
Oh,
So
I see.
me as a Filipino from the Philippines, I went, going to school. I saw some Filipinos who were born here in the
U.S.
States, in the
Yeah.
U.S. So I tried to blend in. At first, they were like, I thought that they would accept me for, who I am as a Filipino. But, Filipino who were born in the States that time, where
They
the
feel
people,
like they're
yeah,
higher or
yeah,
something.
the people who I went to school with,
Yeah.
they make fun of me because of my accent. They
Oh, for
make fun
real?
of me because where I'm from,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
I, how I
Your own kind.
my my own kind, Filipinos who born in the States.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, they make fun of me because I was born in the Philippines, on how I speak, how
yeah.
I pronounce words. So, you know, that was disappointing because, you know, I
You weren't
thought that,
expecting
yeah, I
that.
wasn't expecting that. I thought I was like, oh, you know, hey, I'm Filipino, bro.
Body, yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, they want me to pronounce some words, and then, you know, like bunch of them just laughing at me. You
Oh,
know,
for real?
that's crazy. This is real,
Damn.
real
I didn't
tough times.
experience that,
Yeah, and
though.
of
That's
course they
fucked
try to,
up. Yeah.
they make fun of me, and I was disappointed. Like this days, like, you know, like I get stuck up, be like, you know, like damn, like I just wanted to have friends, you know, because I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah, yeah.
nobody, I don't know nobody, nothing, no one. And then, uh, you know, so I kind of like back away, like, you know, I don't want to mess with them no more. So I, um, I met some black folks in the, you know, at my school that
Yeah.
who, you know, but ever since before in this, I went to the States, I already love hip hop, you know, rap, you
Oh,
know,
yeah, yeah,
listen
for sure.
to Pac, Cash Money.
Even in the
In the
Philippines?
Philippines over here, we bumped Tupac, Cash Money. Yeah,
Ooh,
that was the
damn.
early 2000, 2001, where, you know, started bumping Cash Money. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
2003, you know, it's like, you know, it's hip hop. So
Yeah.
when, you know, I was disappointed, so the black folks embraced me, be like, hey bro, you know, I love your style, you know, dress hip hop, why don't you come hang out with us sometime? So,
Yeah.
you know, they brought me to the studio.
Yeah.
I don't even rap that time yet.
Yeah.
So I just watch them freestyle, record on how they do things, how they say things, and oh, that's fire, that's dope. And,
Yeah.
you know, that's how I learned to, like, how to maneuver, how to blend in.
Start sliding.
Yeah, and for the culture, like in the rap hip hop culture, like,
Yeah.
you know, how I got blended in, and how I found my lane as a Filipino artist, on how I want to speak my story and my lane, you know. So
Damn.
they embraced me. Like at first, I used to rap English, but I still speak Tagalog,
Yeah.
you know, until now, even before. So, but I didn't rap in Tagalog at first, because
Yeah.
just straight English, you know. So from, you know, from the start, like, you know, from my earlier career, just,
Yeah.
you know, kept it moving, and just you know, stay afloat, and just to be, you know,
All right.
doing my
So,
thing.
what do you call this? Man, so your dad had to go to
Yeah,
bankruptcy, and
yeah,
had to struggle. And during that time,
yeah,
you were at
yeah.
school, trying to find your folks. You got into the rap game because of the black folks that you were hanging out with.
Uh, yeah, I would say so. And then because they the ones that brought me to the studio. At first, I
Oh,
didn't know how to rap, so I watched them how to
yeah,
freestyle, how to write, and all that. So that you know, you know, I got soaked some game in, and
yeah.
then, you know, made some way out of it. So, you know,
And
just found my
and,
lane, and
and now you guys are doing it, man, with
yeah,
the
yeah, you
potty
know,
movement and
party
shit,
movement, big,
cipher.
and all that, man. Shout out the party movement, man.
Yes, sir.
And then, so yeah, let's go back to the
Yeah,
me as being a TNT Tago ng Tago. So for years past, it was been like that. But when my older brother got to the States, um, he married my sister-in-law, who was a U.S. citizen. So
yeah.
now he became a green card holder.
Nice, nice.
And then we waited for another couple years till
Yeah.
he became a U.S. citizen. Now he could petition. He petitioned my mom and my dad so they could get a green card. That was like around 2009, 10, something like that. So
Yeah.
they got the green card because my brother U.S. citizen. But my brother couldn't petition me because I was already over 21.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
they couldn't, you know, if it's I was underage, like 18 or less, they could, but I'm
yeah.
21 and up, so they couldn't. But I was happy for my mom and my dad, so they got the green card. As soon as they got the green card, they can finally go home and, you know,
For
see my
sure.
other brother
Yeah.
and my family and relatives. I was happy for them, even though I was still out of status, you know. And then a few years passed, they became a U.S. citizen, my mom and my dad, and I was still out of status
Oh, you
for,
still couldn't find a way
yeah,
to
yeah,
to get.
to be at that time, like,
Yeah.
to be honest, I was in the States. I already lost hope that, you know, going back to the Philippines, I already know that I'm not gonna be able to come back to the Philippines. Like I gave up. That's it. Like, you know, this is my life. You know, like even though I see my mom, my dad, my brother going back and forth vacation to the Philippines, even though, you know, I was still stuck, you know, in the States. you know, working under the table, no tax return. So, uh, and then it was hard. Like, you know, I don't see it as a jealous way, but you know, I was kind of like self self pity, because feeling self pity, because you know, like I lost hope. You know, already lost hope. You know, thinking that I could still come back to the Philippines. I already threw that out
Oh,
the
you gave
window.
that
Yeah, I
up.
already gave
Yeah,
that up.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
like I already know I'm not gonna be able to see my family. So, you know, like when, you know, when they come to the Philippines, they always, you know, my cousins, my aunties over here, hey, once, you know, once Manila coming back, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
and then we just gotta stall them, like, oh, you know, my paper's still working, my paper's still working, but
Ah,
in reality, there's there's no
yeah, nothing's
papers, nothing's
happening.
happening,
Yeah.
zero. And then I was TNT out of status for 12 years.
Fuck.
So, you know, try to stay out of trouble as an undocumented. As soon as, you know, if I get into trouble, I could get deported fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Homeland Security pick me up fast,
Real
deport me.
quick.
Yeah, real quick,
Yeah.
real quick. So I try to stay out of trouble. Just, you know, stay in my own lane, find my way, because music and just a hustle. You know,
Man, you
used
did
to
that, man.
slang. You know,
Yeah.
slang some things, and
And,
just, you
and when you
know,
said under the table,
yeah.
you motherfuckers better fucking read between the lines and
Yeah,
shit.
slang, you know what I mean? So, staying out of trouble, and then before that, before I got to hang out with the blacks, I was, you know, hanging out with some, you know, like peer pressure, got peer pressure by some folks, like when they used to, you know, uh, steal cars.
Ah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So even though, hey, come with us, come kick it. Like,
Yeah.
even though I didn't do it, but I still hang out with them. If I get caught, pretty much same consequence.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
even
yeah.
though I didn't do it, I still hang out with them, and uh, it's a same consequence, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's like kind of like, what? How do you call it? Like associate, or how do you say it? Like,
Guilty by association.
yeah, there you go,
Yeah.
something like that. So I woke me up at some point when we was at the Stoli, and I forgot my backpack. We switched this from Stoli to Stoli. I forgot my backpack, and one of my homies told me, "Hey, E, what's your backpack?" Oh, I left. I forgot it, you know, in the other car. So
Yeah.
we have to come back and get it. Like, I was like, man, you know, like feeling like, damn, I left it. Like, that's it for me. They're gonna find it.
All your ID.
Yeah, all my schoolwork, my notebook, my name, my address in there.
Ah.
So, you know, as a kid that no social security, once they see it, that's it. I don't know what happened with next. So that woke me up.
But they never found
They
it.
never found it.
Nothing
So, you
happened.
know, nothing happened. So that woke me up that, oh, I was in the wrong crowd. So, you know, and then, you know, because this is like in between hanging out with black folks. So Filipino Americans made fun of me. Then I was in the wrong crowd, you know, stealing cars. Then now the you know, some black folks, you know, my homies embraced me to go to the studio. So
Yeah.
that's how it was, the time frame for that.
Yeah.
So now, you know, fell in love with the rap, fell in love on writing, expressing, telling my story. You know, just
Yeah.
trying to maneuver, you know, and then, but yeah, just
Man, that shit fucking pissed me off with that fucking the Filipino Americans and
yeah,
shit that try to put their own people down and try to
yeah.
lift themselves
Like
up like they're some kind of higher and shit,
like
man.
until now, I still remember like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Like how I look at their eyes, how I look at their laughs. Like they're just laughing at me like I'm a fucking joke, man.
But let me ask you this:
Yeah.
were they the one that's kind of like parang tamang preppy, or they kind of like preppy and shit, like trying to like they talk proper like whitewash?
Something like that. Yeah.
Ah, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
So, you know, like, I just, at first, you know, as a young kid coming from the Philippines, at first I didn't know how to react. Like, you know, they make fun of me. Like, I don't know how to react after that. Like, I just kind of like back away, you know, because I didn't know how to talk shit back. Like, because if I talk shit back, mispronounce it, and they don't laugh at me, they don't laugh at me. So I just like kind of like, you know, back away, hey, maybe it's not, you know. So my my mind was kind of like open to different ways. Like, I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, Latin. If you got love for me, I got love for you. You know, if you fuck with me, I fuck with you. That's what my mind is. So, you know, it was hard, but like, I've been through a lot, man. Sometimes, I was a TNT, like, for 12 years. I didn't have no social security until I was 25. Because the only reason I got it because of Obama, where he brought the DACA, the Dream Act, where they put the program where if you arrive in the States 16 or under with no cases, no federal offense, nothing, then you're qualified for a social security. So I applied on that. I paid a lot for my immigration attorney to make that happen. Like, I paid monthly attorney fees and what's that called? Application fees and everything. So finally, like, I got approved with the Dream Act. So I got my social security when I was 25 years old. That means I got my driver's license when I was 25 years old. So imagine not driving, bro, until you're 25. People will look at you like, damn, bro, you already 24, 25, still got no license. You don't know how to drive, bro. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know what's the real deal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not out there like telling my business like, hey, you know, I was trying to think. Like, I just say like, oh, you know, I haven't been passed, you know, I failed, and, you know, and people they start trying out. And people still make fun of me because of that. I mean, but they don't know the real deal, my real story, and you know, I just can't put my business out like that. I kept it, you know, to myself. Yeah. So yeah, I got my license when I was 25. You know, so I had to drive. You know, was driving. You know, like used to take bus. You know, Samtrans, BART. You know, what I mean? Just to get, you know, from point A to point B, San Francisco, Daly City, or LA. You know what I'm saying?
Towards that time, when did you start, when did you end up getting the green card and the citizenship?
Okay, so I only got the Social Security because of that, you know, the DACA Green Act.
Yeah.
And then for a few years, I have to renew it. Every 2 years, I think I have to renew it. I have to renew it, I have to submit, then another immigration fees, another submission fees, attorney fees, all that. So I have to renew it. So I think I did twice. I asked for renewal, 2 years to 2 years. And then while I was on the DACA with my Social Security, no, I didn't have a green card yet. I was just a Social Security and my driver's license. That's it. So I only have a Social Security that says valid for work only. Right. So that's it. So like no green card. You know what I'm saying. So I had to, just keep working, keep pushing, and at the same time, still doing my thing. And I met my wife. No, actually, I met my first wife before my ex-wife, where it wasn't real love before. She was a green card holder. She was a green card holder, and then I paid for her attorney fees, submission fees, so her to become a U.S. citizen, so that she could marry me and be a green card holder. But while there was a wedding before, like 2010, we got married, and then she already was a citizen. And then months after we got married, she knows that I needed her. Of course, there was real love back then, And then she kind of like felt like she was higher than me because I'm the one that kind of like chasing her because of papers. But so she played me, bro, like cheated on me, and multiple times, so we just ended up getting a divorce. This is before getting the green card. I haven't even applied for the green card. She already doing that. And imagine me paying the 20 fees, everything, and she got me a citizen. She played me, cheated on me. So now we got divorced, back, boom, back to being out of status. TNT. You know what I mean? So this is before I got into DACA. This is before I got into DACA. So
DACA from Obama's.
Yeah, from Obama. This is before I got the DACA from Obama. So I think I got the DACA. I think I was about like 2014. But you know, when I got married and divorced, I think it was 2010. So I got I had to divorce her because for some BS money. So and then so that's why it went until 12 years for me as on status TNT because of that. And it was crazy. Like back then, I really lost hope already. Like, and why is it happening?
You're never gonna get back.
I'm never gonna go back. Never gonna have no papers, nothing.
You ain't gonna see her family here again.
Right, so still back under the table. And then that when the DACA comes.
That's when you start to see the light.
Yeah. So fast forward after the DACA. So after the DACA, I met I met a girl, which is not my wife. I met her 2012. Yeah. And then this is before the DACA. All right, so I met her 2012, and then she was a green card holder, and then at first I think she couldn't marry me because I was out of status. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was out of status, so she couldn't marry me. If she does, I have to come back to the Philippines. My attorney told me I have to come back to the Philippines so she could petition me. And then around that time, I think 2015, I paid for attorney fees, submission fees for my non-wife to become she was my ex-girlfriend. I paid for her attorney fees for her from green card to a U.S. citizen. So as soon as she got a U.S. citizen in 2016, and then we got married 2017, October. And then, so that's when I got my green card around 2018, before 2019, something like that. So, but before I get my green card, Trump postponed that Dream Act that Obama put on the document, so he postponed that. So a lot of immigration, papers got what's that called? Got disappointed to that. But on my part, I already applied for my green card. So as soon as I got my green card, a few months after I got my green card, then they leave the document, so no more Dream Act. So it was just on the timing for me, because I thought that it's still gonna hit me, like, oh man, a good thing that I got my green card, and that's to be a safe, around 2019, and I was planning to go home in 2020 and visit my family, and boom, COVID hit. So
it got postponed
again. So I lost my job too in San Francisco, so we had to figure it out, So we moved to a new city, which is Santa Maria, California. So I think it's the best decision we ever did. I did for my family. So that's what happened to me. And sometimes I still think of them. I think of it the days that me and my mom, we used to wake up like, when we used to live in Millbrae, like this was around 2006, 2007, we used to wake up 4 in the morning just to catch the early bus so we can go to Pacific Super. Out of Pacific, and there was an out of Pacific and Pacific Super on Westboro, I think. So we could go grocery, and then catch the bus back to, Millbrae San Bruno area, my sister-in-law's apartment, because so we can cook breakfast and food before they wake up. You know what I'm
Ah,
saying? Because
man.
living at someone's household, even though it's a family, it's hard because you gotta live by the rules. You gotta do some hospitality stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Pakikisama, you
yeah.
gotta learn how to about pakikisama. So whoever lives with you won't be able to say nothing bad to you, like, oh, oh, he's good, they cook, they clean,
Yeah,
so good
yeah.
kid and all that.
You're doing the things that you're not doing.
Right. So
Yeah,
we felt like we have to do it because
yeah, yeah.
we staying at their
Their
spot,
spot.
but we pay rent, but that's still their
Still,
spot.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So sometimes I think about them days and just started crying, bro, because I really been through a lot. Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is the first official interview, me telling this stuff about what happened to me. Even some of my family here still doesn't know what happened to me back then. So this is the official story, my experiences that happened from 2003 until 2023. So right now we're in Makati City shooting this. It's my first time coming back 20 years later, and
Yeah,
that's big. So as soon as I came home, like, oh, I almost cried, bro. Like,
yeah, yeah.
man, this is my hometown. Like, like, I think about them days that I gave up. You think about them years that I gave up
We'll
already.
never see this
Like,
again.
yeah, I really thought that I was just gonna die there or deported at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then I just want to say, like, don't give up. Even though I did before, just for the people that doesn't have papers or having troubles with their documents, just don't give up. It's not like you're always on the low, you're not always down, gonna be on the bad situation. Just keep striving for the better, and just keep doing it, for the better, for you, strive for the better for you and your family. So just
Man,
just don't give up, bro.
you did that shit, pal. You did that shit,
Thank you.
man.
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
Thank you.
I wish I could go there right now in the U.S. and you know what I mean, but
Yeah.
I fucked it up. But
Yeah.
you've been through it, 20 years, came back, papers, everything good. You can come here whenever you want, go over there whenever you want. Shot
Yeah.
that, man,
Yeah. Thank
and
you,
you can
bro.
get all the rest of your family to go over
Yeah.
there, have a better life,
Yeah.
better opportunity.
That's what I
Shit.
wanted to do. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as I came home, I blessed some people. I treat my nephew. I had a nephew that I'd never seen. He's already like probably 20, 21, 22. It's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
first time seeing him. Like, I'd
Ah,
never,
yeah,
like some family and some nephew, nieces that I never met before.
yeah.
But there's some aunties of mine, some of my Lola's sister, you know, uh, my old aunties, my old uncles that I won't be able to see anymore because when I was in the States,
Yeah,
they got sick. Unfortunately, they saddened by,
yeah,
they
yeah.
dead already. So,
Man.
rest in peace
So
to them, all my family who I lost that I never got to see, I never got to visit. But man, it's hard, father. Like,
yeah,
I've really been through it. Most people, like, won't believe me, or, oh man, just a light skinned pretty boy from the Philippines, and who the fuck you think he is,
yeah, yeah,
but they don't really know my story, man. I've really
yeah,
been through a lot. Like, I got stories to tell,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
everything is right here, bro. Got no notes, nothing, man.
yeah. That's
Like,
right.
that's really,
And now,
yeah.
and now you guys are doing it slowly but surely. I think you guys gonna take over the game, and shit, man.
Thank
'Cause they
you.
can't hide the talent forever, and shit,
Yeah.
man. And there's so much of you guys pushing the unity in one of your music videos. It's like how many homies in there? Like a lot of you
Yeah,
guys, man.
shout out the party movement.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna name anybody, but I might forget some people, so I don't wanna forget some people.
yeah,
But that's a party movement. You already know who's in the party movement. We
yeah,
we we doing this, for the culture, for the Bay Area, for the Cali, for the States, especially for the Philippines, for the culture, for the Filipino people. We're doing this potty shit, you know. So, and then I just want to shout out Potty Young for giving me this opportunity to tell my story and what happened to me back, you know, in the States. And you know,
I appreciate you coming through and keeping it G right there on the channel, live, raw, freestyle, uncut.
You know, we're supposed to do this just like as a test only, and then I just
ended up going
I just kept going, you know.
So just like, you know, I appreciate you showing everybody it doesn't matter how much you get beat up in life. If you got the heart of a champion, you're gonna end up coming back. You thought you was never gonna come here. Look where you're at right now, and we still got a whole future to look forward to, man. A whole future to look forward to.
Yeah, true.
And what can I say, man? You're making it happen. And you're showing that anything's possible.
Yes.
From what you've been through.
I've been through.
Keeping it G, man. You've been through it. Cried through the struggles.
Pain.
I've been there too. Pain, struggle, cried too so many times. But guess what? You got the heart of a lion, man. We're champion. We're here. We're standing. We're making it happen. Every day we're happy, and now you're making everybody happy. Blessing all your family and everybody.
Treating all my nephew.
And ever since I came to his hood right here in Mactown, right here in this area, Pio del Pilar, he kind of like got the whole street locked. Like, I eat whatever I want to eat. I stay wherever. I park wherever and shit.
Facts.
You know, man.
Hey, you know, it's all love. It's all love.
So we're gonna be doing a lot of shit in the future.
Yeah.
And thank you for you want to add on something before we shake a spot? Any shout out message?
Yeah, just wanna shout out, like I said, to the people who feel like they're in a bad situation. I just wanna give them hope, and don't lose faith, don't lose hope. Just trust the struggle, and you're not gonna be always in a bad situation as long as you doing, you know, day by day. You keep doing better for yourself, for your family, and then you're gonna be at the top. So you know, that's all I want to say, man. Just you know, just do better, man. Aim for the progress. Stay out of trouble, man. Take care of your family, man. That's it.
Yes, sir. And don't forget, stay out of fucking trouble.
Stay out of trouble, man.
And with that being said, y'all know what time it is. Say what you mean and mean what you say, because real recognize real.
Recognize real.
Out of here, man.
Out of here.
Father.
Love, Father.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Out of here.
Peace.
Thanks.
Thanks.